Hi guys, Maria Makkas of Makkas Homes with Keller Williams Experience. Super excited today. I am here with Russell Siegel of Princeton Mortgage to talk mortgages. What else? And I also want to say that this is the first video of my video series, Real Estate Talks interview series. And Russ was picked as the first because he's always made me feel comfortable when I ask him any questions, and he's quick to respond when my buyers have questions. So thank you, Russ, for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Maria. I am honored. I am privileged to be your guest, and I thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. I'm Maria Makkas of Makkas Homes with Keller Williams Experience. And this is Real Estate Talks. So, Russ, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Russell Siegel. I am a mortgage loan originator with Princeton Mortgage, who's been in business for over 35 years. We are home of the Effortless Mortgage. And if you find that you do not have an effortless mortgage with us, we will give you the Princeton Promise, where we give you $1,000 back if you are unhappy with our service.
Say that one more time. $1,000?
$1,000. And you believe it or not, less than 0.25% of people take us up on it because we provide an effortless experience.
And I believe that. So I am very lucky to have found Russ and to have him in my preferred lender list because he's always there for my clients. He answers phone calls right away. He takes care of you with a lot of care and knowledge, and that's very important to us. So thank you, Russ, for all of that.
Oh, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
A little tip. If you are looking to get a mortgage, I know you're watching this online, but do not get a mortgage from an internet site. It's very unpersonal. They'll ask you a lot of finance questions, but it is not personal to you. They won't care about you. And there won't be a designated lender to pick up the phone when you have a question. And I get that with some of my buyers that do use these services before they consult with me, and they're already pre-approved, so I can't do nothing. Even I, as a lender, have a hard time finding that lender when I have questions to help them out. So it's very frustrating to my buyers. So I would prefer if you speak to a lender who you can, who's local, who you can call him. He's going to pick up his text, his phone. So that's my little tip. So today we're going to try to answer some of your mortgage questions, and that's why Russ is here. So Russ, let's start off with the big topic these last few months, and what else can that be but interest rates. What are the average interest rates today?
So we've been in historic lows. Today they're right about 2.75, actually up a little bit from like last week, but still historic lows.
It is. And just imagine in 2000, it was 8%, and those were historic lows. But when people were committed to buy a home, they were happy with that. So one thing I have to say is that I know it's very scary to pull the trigger and get your first mortgage, especially when you look at that closing document and it says last payment is $2,051. And you're like, oh my God. But if you do make the commitment and you want to pull the trigger, you know what? I think the most important part is to be honest with your debt, with your credit score and everything. Open up all your books and consult with the lender, see what you can afford. And the most important thing is that monthly payment, the monthly money that comes out of your pocket monthly. Does that make sense?
There's a lot of monthlies.
What comes out of your pocket monthly is the most important number for me when I got my mortgage. So first question to a lender should always be, what will my monthly payment be? Of course, you need to decide with your lender the down payment programs that are best for you. But so Russ, if you're a first-time home buyer and you're watching this and you think, okay, I'm going to go for it, I'm going to pull the trigger. I always tell my buyers to ask what their monthly payment will be. Can you tell us what's included in a monthly payment?
That's a good question. So as I would say from one of my favorite actors, I pity the fool who still rents and is not buying a house right now. So the key takeaway from that is pity, P-I-T-I, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. That's what makes up your monthly payment.
Okay. And what determines my rate?
So many factors determine a rate, okay? The down payment that you have, depending on how big it is, will qualify you for certain loan programs and certain rates. Your credit score will qualify you for certain loan programs. And the credit score does two things. It qualifies you for a certain loan program, and then your credit score will get you the interest rate that we need. Credit history and the loan type. All these different factors determine the rate.
Okay. And can you break down debt to income ratio and how that works?
Okay, debt to income ratio could be complicated, but really it's very simple. It's really how much you can afford for your monthly expenses. So how much income is coming in versus how much debt is coming out. And that's called the DTI, the debt to income ratio. So we use that in qualifying factors for loan programs. Each loan program has different percentages that you need to hit. So that's how you get that.
Okay, makes sense. And how about somebody like most millennials nowadays who are drowning in student debt? How can you help them?
We can help them. So many people have student debt. That's just the world now. It's no problem. Don't fret. Student debt is factored into different kind of loan programs, and they have different systems that we can factor it, right? Some loan programs we can use 0.5% to 1% of the amount due to use on the loan rather than all of that debt. And remember, like I said, everybody's got student debt. There's plenty of loan programs. So if you're nervous about it, it's easy for us to run your numbers and figure that out.
So you're hearing that if you have a consultation with a mortgage lender or with Russ, and he tells you that you're not prepared, you're not ready right now, he can help you put a plan ahead and start planning that and prepare for it, which is great. Now notice how he gets everything from your credit score. And I hear a lot of buyers that are so scared to get their credit pulled. And I know that it doesn't hurt your credit as much as we really think it does to do the same, like you tell is, tell them, like, how much does it affect their score if they pull their credit with 2-3 lenders getting a quote?
So it doesn't really hurt your score at all. We need to pull your credit because that's how we kind of factor in a lot of the stuff, and that's how we can help you qualify for certain things and give you some advice. But if you're in the shopping for a mortgage and you're testing different lenders, each credit pull from a lender isn't going to affect your score really at all. If it does, it's minor. What does affect your score is if you're getting credit pulls from different industries, like a mortgage, a car, and some furniture. Those other things are going to affect your score and qualifications in a negative way.
Okay. So now tell me, what else do I need do buyers have to think of when they're saving to buy a home? Besides the down payment, there are closing costs. Can you tell us a little bit about closing costs?
So closing costs are multiple different things. So the cost of mortgages, a lot of people think it's just down payment and interest rate, right? It's not. You have the down payment, the interest rates, the origination fees, and the closing costs all are worked into the loan. So closing costs could be possible mortgage insurance, title, owed taxes, inspections, appraisals, credit reports, flood certifications, all the very important legal stuff that your house needs to be a legal house is all that paperwork we need to do. So all that is factored into closing costs. And they usually represent 3 to 5% of your total loan, right? So it's kind of important. Most people think it's 20% down payment and nothing else. There's multiple moving parts.
Yeah. Okay. Now we love people with 800 credit score, 20% down, but we have to be realistic that especially nowadays it's not easy. If you're young, you're new married, new kids, so your money is going in a lot of different directions. Do we need 20% down for down payment?
No, I love this question. I think I call it the 20% down myth. You absolutely do not need it, especially for first-time home buyers. There's programs out there, if you qualify, that you can put down 3%, 3.5%, some programs 5% and above, right? Mm-hmm. And we offset that with something called mortgage insurance, which helps you get loan programs that you need.
Okay, that is great to know. So now, last but not least, give us a few tips on how to boost our credit and get ready to buy our first home.
And definitely not least, credit is important. When you're young, you don't think so. The older you get, you realize how much it affects you. So here's some credit score tips, just a few. So no late payments, avoid them at all costs. If you're in the mortgage process, do not open or close any accounts that you have, because we use those accounts to get your debt to income ratios. And if you close any of them, it can throw the whole thing off. If you have any accounts in collections, deal with them, right? And again, I'm going to consult you through this process and tell you what you got out there.
And you can do something about that, can't you?
Yes, through consultations and what we see, we can help advise you through this whole process and make it effortless, right? Another important part that a lot of people don't know is to keep debt on your cards, your credit cards, below 30% of the whole card, right?
Okay.
There's a big misconception out there that if you have credit, right, and you have cards, it's all good. Even if there's debt, it's all good. I mean, some debt is good, right? But lenders don't want to see much more than 30% full, because that really affects your ratios, right? And then the last thing I'd like to mention is the Rapid Rescore. This is a very cool program that we have at Princeton Mortgage, where we can take your credit report, take the stuff that can be fixed quickly, right? And we run it through a program called Rapid Rescore, and it'll shoot out a new score of what it possibly can be. And then we work with the loan and the programs and the people involved to solidify that.
So you guys know where to find me. And I will put a link below how you can find Russel Siegel with Princeton Mortgage. So thank you, Russ. Thanks for watching, guys. Interview video 1 done. Bye, guys.
Bye.